Good morning, students. Today I will be explaining history subject, part 2 of history subject. The last time I have already explained to you some parts from the first chapter, that is the beginning of time. Today I will be explaining to you two main points, that is hominoids and hominids and views on origin of human beings. So let me start with the origin of hominids and hominoids. Hominids evolved from hominoids. These both hominids and hominoids, they shared certain common features, but they also have some differences as well. So let me first explain to you what is hominoid. About hominoid. Hominoids have smaller brains compared to hominid. And hominoids were quadrupeds. Quadrupeds means the mammal which walk on all four using both their hands and legs. A hominid evolved from hominoid. Okay, so hominid had an upright posture like the humans. Like humans, we are standing in an upright posture. So hominids had an upright posture. They walk on only using their legs, and that is bipedal locomotion. Bipedal locomotion, that means using only two legs for walking, not using their hands for walking. So that is the difference between hominid and hominoid. So hominid evolved from hominoids. So both hominids and hominoids are different from monkeys. They don't have tails and they have a longer period of infant development. It was believed by the historians that the first human appeared in Africa about 2 million years ago. The most famous example of the evidence supporting the existence of hominoids was the skeleton named Lucy, found in Ethiopia in African continent. This skeletal remain name called Lucy, which was discovered in Ethiopia, supports the view that hominoid evolved from Africa. The first hominoid is called Australopithecus. The first apeman was known as Australopithecus, also called as Southern ape, was first discovered in East Africa. They had a basic trait of human. They could stand up like human, and were known to use. They were also known to be used. They might have used tools, and the fossils of Australopithecus were first discovered in early 20th century by a German butterfly collector named George in the year in AD 1959. The second is Homo habilis. Homo habilis is also called as handyman, or it is also called as toolmaker. By the time man has evolved from Australopithecus to Homo habilis, men have learned how to make stone tools and weapons for their protection. Homo habilis men existed between 2.4 and 1.5 million years ago. Homo habilis were taller than their ancestors. Their ancestors were the Australopithecus. They were more taller than the Australopithecus, and although they use stone tools and weapons, the tools that they use were still very crude. So that is all about Homo habilis. Now the third one is Homo erectus. It evolved from Australopithecus to Homo habilis, and from Homo habilis to Homo erectus. Homo erectus is also called as upright man. Homo erectus was the first human ancestor. They are called as upright men because Homo erectus men could walk in an upright posture, and this Homo erectus existed between 160,000 to about 300,000 BC. Homo erectus men have learned how to make fire. Thus, they started migrating to different, even to the colder region, because they have mastered the art of making fire, and because of which they started migrating even to the colder region. And it is during this period of the Homo erectus that humans migrated to different parts of the world. And it almost took 2 lakh years to grow from Homo habilis to Homo erectus. That means there is 2 lakh year gap between Homo habilis and Homo erectus. Homo erectus were about the same size of modern human being like us, but has a smaller brain. Comparing to the modern humans, they have only 1/3 of the human brain, and Homo erectus were probably the first hunters. Now, this Homo habilis, they have learned how to make fire. They have learned how to use stone tools, but these Homo erectus were the first person who could able to use these tools for hunting. Okay, and Homo habilis, though they have learned how to make stone tools, they use those tools only for their protection. Homo erectus men were the first who start hunting, and they considerably improve the tool making skill comparing to the Homo habilis, and they make stone axes and knives which they use as a weapon for hunting. Now, moving on to the next one is Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens, or wise men. They are called wise men because they were more intellectually wiser than the earlier Homos, which I have already explained. These Homo sapiens were much more wiser than Australopithecus or Homo habilis or Homo erectus. Among the Homo sapiens, it is classified into different parts again. So the first Homo sapien is called as Homo heidelbergensis. This Homo heidelbergensis was probably the common ancestor of Homo neanderthalensis and modern human. The fossil of this Homo heidelbergensis proved that Homo sapiens' skull grew much more forward than those of the Homo erectus, and left more room for the brain to develop, and because of which it made the Homo sapiens much more wiser than those of the Homo erectus. The second one is called the Homo neanderthals. The skeletal remain of this Neanderthal species of this early man was first discovered in a valley called Neanderthal in Germany, and thus it was named after the place from where the fossil of this species was discovered. These Homo neanderthals were much taller and stronger than that of Homo heidelbergensis, and were marvelous hunter. They have mastered the art of making. By this time, men have mastered the art of making fire. Now, the third one is Homo sapiens Cro-Magnon man, or a modern human. By this time, men have become very capable hunterer and gatherer, and have scattered all over the world. The remains of Homo sapiens was discovered by scientists in Europe, Asia, Africa, and even other parts of the world. And the Homo sapiens which were found, the fossil remains of Homo sapiens which was found in Europe was called as Cro-Magnon man. So that is how the human evolved into a modern human. Now I will explain to you about the views of origin, different views of origin of modern humans. There are two different views about the origin of modern human. The first one is called the replacement continuity model. The second one is called as regional continuity model. So The supporters of the replacement continuity model holds that the origin of the modern human originated only in one particular place, that is in Africa, and they gave the following points in support of their view. Okay, so the first one is there is genetic and anatomical homogeneity of modern humans. Though humans belong to different parts of the world, we have the same characteristic, we have the same physical characteristic. It is because they believe that it is because we originated from one place, that is in Africa. We have the same descent, and because of which we have same physical feature. The second point is the fossil of modern human was found in Homo in Ethiopia, which is in Africa. This fossil supports the view that modern human came into existence only in one part of the world. So that is the second point. And the third one is basically all the human has the same physical feature. The main reason for the variation in the physical features of human is because of the different geographical condition in different regions. There are some variation in the appearance, because some people are dark complexion, some people are fair complexion, some are tall, some are short. It is all because of the differences in the geographical condition, or else the feature, all the humans have the same genetic features, and that is because we came from Africa. So that is the view of the replacement continuity model. There is the second view about the origin of modern human is the regional continuity model. According to this regional continuity model, the archaic Homo sapiens in different regions gradually evolved in different rates into modern humans. They gave the following views in support of their points in support of their view. So the first one is the geographical condition favorable for the growth of modern humans developed in some region. As a result, the Homo sapiens came into existence in this area because of the geographical condition which made it favorable for the humans to grow in different parts of the world, develop in different parts of the world. The second point is the difference in habits, the habits of the human in different parts of the world, their natures and the features of the Homo sapiens in different regions includes that indicate that the Homo sapiens did not appear at the same time or at one place. And the third and the last point is the archaeologists also support the regional continuity model, and on the basis of the archaeological evidences, they have classified the human as Java man, Peking man, Homo erectus, Homo heidelbergensis man. The archaeologists' evidence found in France, Mexico, Rhodesia Rhodesia that the modern man originated in different regions at different time. Even the archaeologists are supporting the view of regional continuity model. So that are the two different views about the origin of modern humans. The first is the replacement continuity model, and the second one is regional continuity model. So that is all I will explain for today, and the remaining I will continue in the next class. Thank you.